June 13th, 1944. A single German tank rumbles into the quiet French town of Villers-Bocage, and within minutes, changes the course of an entire battle. One man, one machine, and a moment that would echo through military history. This is the story of the Tiger Tank, and the man who made it legendary, Michael Wittmann. Welcome back to Top Tier TV, where we dive deep into the battle, the machines, and the men that shaped history. Today, we're taking you to one of World War II's most unforgettable moments. An ambush so daring, so devastating, it still sparks debate among historians and veterans alike. If you love stories of battlefield brilliance, courage, and chaos, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and stay with us till the end, because this is one you don't want to miss. It's early June 1944, just days after the D-Day landings. Allied forces have poured into Normandy, eager to break out from their beachheads and push inland. The British 7th Armored Division, known as the Desert Rats, is advancing toward the small town of Villers-Bocage. Their goal? Exploit a gap in German lines and threaten the flank of Panzer Lehr Division. But the Germans are not broken, not yet. Hidden among the hedgerows and narrow roads of Normandy are veterans of the Waffen-SS, battle-hardened soldiers waiting for their moment to strike back. And among them, one man stands above the rest, Michael Wittmann, a name that would become legend. Born in 1914 in Bavaria, Wittmann joined the Waffen-SS before the war even began. By 1944, he was already one of Germany's most celebrated tank commanders, credited with destroying more than 100 enemy tanks on the Eastern Front. He commanded a Tiger WWII, a machine that was as feared as it was respected. 88mm of pure firepower, nearly 60 tons of thick, sloped armor. The Tiger was slow, heavy, but almost indestructible from the front. To the Allies, it was a nightmare. To Wittmann, it was an extension of himself. On the morning of June 13th, Wittmann's unit, the 101st SS Heavy Panzer Battalion, was stationed near Villers-Bocage. At dawn, scouts reported British tanks, Shermans and Cromwells, moving down the road toward the town. Wittmann had only a handful of operational Tigers, but he didn't hesitate. He saw an opportunity and seized it. He climbed into his Tiger, turret number 205, and led a small group of tanks toward the main road. As he crested a small hill overlooking the British column, what he saw was astonishing. An entire column of vehicles, tanks, half-tracks, and trucks stretched along the narrow road. The British had no idea he was there. At 8:35 a.m., Wittmann ordered his driver to advance. The Tiger roared to life, rolling down the hill alone. From just a few hundred meters away, Wittmann lined up his first shot. Boom! A British Cromwell tank erupted into flames, then another, then another. In a matter of seconds, the column descended into chaos. British crews scrambled for cover as the Tiger tore through the lead vehicles, blocking the road and trapping the rest. Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. Wittmann drove straight into Villers-Bocage itself, firing as he went. Shermans, half-tracks, carriers, one after another, were picked off. British anti-tank guns fired desperately, but their shells bounced harmlessly off the Tiger's thick armor. Inside the Tiger, it was hot, deafening, and claustrophobic. Wittmann's gunner, Bobby Vole, worked with machine-like precision, loading, firing, loading again. Each shot shook the tank to its core. Smoke filled the air. Shell casings clattered across the floor. In less than 15 minutes, Wittmann's crew destroyed more than a dozen British tanks and armored vehicles. Eyewitnesses later said the entire attack seemed impossible, one Tiger taking on an entire battalion. But to Wittmann, it was just instinct. By now, the town of Villers-Bocage was in flames. British soldiers fought bravely, trying to regroup and mount a defense. But confusion reigned. Some units believed they were under attack by an entire German armored division. Others thought the enemy had infiltrated from behind their lines. In truth, it was still just Wittmann, driving alone, weaving through narrow streets, hunting targets at point-blank range. Eventually, though, his luck began to run out. A British anti-tank gun hidden in a side street fired, striking his Tiger and damaging the tracks. Unable to move, Wittmann and his crew bailed out. They escaped the town and later rejoined their unit, only to lead another counterattack the next day. When the smoke cleared, the streets of Villers-Bocage were littered with burning wrecks. In the span of less than 20 minutes, one Tiger tank had destroyed around 14 tanks, 15 carriers, and 2 anti-tank guns. For the British 7th Armored Division, it was a devastating blow. For the Germans, it was a brief but brilliant moment of triumph amid the chaos of Normandy. And for Michael Wittmann, it was the action that sealed his name in history. But who was Michael Wittmann beyond the legend? To his men, he was calm, fearless, and decisive, a commander who led from the front. To his enemies, he was a ghost in a steel beast, a man who appeared from nowhere, struck without warning, and vanished again. Of course, the legacy of Wittmann and all soldiers of the Waffen-SS is complicated. They fought with skill and bravery, but also under the banner of a regime that brought immense suffering to the world. Even so, historians and veterans alike recognize Wittmann's tactical genius on the battlefield. His attack at Villers-Bocage remains one of the most analyzed armored engagements of World War II. Just 2 months later, in August 1944, Wittmann's luck finally ran out. During the Battle of Saint-Aignan-de-Cramonil, his Tiger was struck, likely by a British Sherman Firefly armed with a powerful 17-pounder gun. The explosion tore the turret from the hull. Wittmann and his crew were killed instantly. He was just 30 years old. Today, Wittmann's grave lies in the German war cemetery at La Cambre, among thousands of others who fell during the Normandy campaign. The Battle of Villers-Bocage remains one of those rare moments in history where a single man and a single machine changed the course of a day. For the British, it was a painful lesson in the dangers of overextension and underestimating the enemy. For the Germans, it was proof of what skill, courage, and the Tiger Tank could achieve, if only for a fleeting moment. And for historians and enthusiasts, it's a reminder of how war can elevate ordinary men into legends, and then consume them just as quickly. Michael Wittmann's story is one of courage, skill, and tragedy, a testament to the brutal reality of tank warfare. But what do you think? Was Wittmann's ambush at Villers-Bocage a masterpiece of tactics, or just a stroke of luck in the fog of war? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into one of World War II's most dramatic moments, hit that like button, subscribe to Top Tier TV, and ring the bell so you never miss another story from the front lines of history. Until next time, stay curious, stay respectful, and keep history alive.